right, y'all, it is time to get the party started. Kettle Club was very fun. We just did our flow. Now it's time to do cleans with the barbell. I'm psyched because I love Olympic style weightlifting. If you have never experienced it, I'm gonna make it very approachable today, okay? I'm gonna come out and say this though, I'm not a weightlifting coach. I just love weightlifting and I love having a day of it in the program that I give my clients because I think sometimes when you're a subpar athlete, that makes the best teacher because you have to make it approachable for yourself to learn. So because it is something that's kind of new to me in the last 6 or 7 years, I remember what it felt like to be new at this, and I remember what I needed to hear to understand the physics around weightlifting and leveraging yourself under the bar and all of that. So getting the most out of the least amount of movement, getting the most power out of it, not catching it as low necessarily if you don't need to, like embracing catching the power position, all of that. We're going to talk about that when we get into the workout, but first I have to put my shoes on. So I'm going to put my weightlifting shoes on. If you've got weightlifting shoes, grab them. If you don't, that's okay. I'm going to instruct you maybe a little bit differently, just in our setup positions, but if you do have a heel, grab it. What I won't be suggesting is putting your heels on plates or lifts of any kind. Our feet are going to be leaving the ground, so unless you got a shoe, I would not be lifting your heel with any other object because you're going to trip on it, okay? So we got cleans today, and we've got a lot of volume actually ahead of us. We're going to be doing 8 rounds of 3 reps of a high hang full clean. Now, with that full clean comes the caveat of if front squats don't feel comfortable to you, if front squats are new to you, I'm going to have you catch in a power. I'm going to show all these different options when we get to it. But if you are just now getting to the gym, good morning, welcome, or wherever you are in the world, hello. Hope you've had a good day so far. We're about to turn it up a notch. So I've got my shoes on. Let's get into it. So we're going to have barbell set up wherever. We're going to start with empty bar. So make sure that you don't have anything on the floor that could trip you. I'm going to move this bench out of the way. And I'll also say I'm using a men's bar today, which a men's bar is the 20 kilo bar. A women's bar is 15 kilos. It's not like a sexist thing. It just is that. It is called that. So along with the 20 kilo bar it is a thicker barbell to grip. So it's definitely more fatiguing. I've got my 15 kilo women's bar at home. It doesn't fit in my car, so it couldn't come with us today. But we're gonna make do. And good news is, for cleans, it doesn't bother me as much. For snatches, that'd be a different story. Okay, so with this empty bar, we're gonna warm up just our hinge first, and then we're gonna go into a clean pull, and then we're gonna practice catching, okay? All empty bar. I'm also going to be doing a hook grip where your thumb goes underneath your other fingers. I'm not going to be too crazy about that today because I can't see you guys. But if you want to learn more about the hook grip, I would suggest just looking up any videos about it. I don't want to spend too much time on it. Again, because I can't be there to physically show you and correct yours. It would just kind of be wasted time. But thumb would go underneath the other fingers. It is a safer grip. It is literally a hook around the bar. Okay, so I'm going to grip the bar just outside of my thighs, stand up with it, and with a proud chest, I'm going to push my hip back, find tension in my hamstrings, and then bend at my knee once I get past my knee. So I'm mid-shin now. I'm now going to pull the knees back, and once I'm above the knee, I'm going to pull my hips in. At no point should I be locking out my legs on the way down or up. And I'm finding tension, but there's still a soft bend. I'm really making room for the bar to move past without having to go around my knees. From there, bend the knee. Pull the knee back just slightly to make room for the bar, and then pull the hips in. Let's do one more. All right, rack the bar. So that is going to be, generally speaking, the path that the bar is going to be taking on the way up in your clean. Now what we're going to be adding is the pull component. However, it's kind of misleading, that term. We're not going to be pulling with our arms. We're going to be continuing it up through a shrug and calf raise. So we're going to do exactly what we just did, but then at the top, we're going to squeeze our glutes. We're going to go up onto our toes, gripping the floor with our toes, and shrugging as high as we can, and just hanging out there, okay? Then coming back down. What this is going to teach us is this needs to happen first in our clean before this happens, okay? I would say that the first thing I see for someone first learning is an early pull, and it happens to me and everyone else when you go up and wait, all right? It's just kind of like your knee-jerk reaction, like I want to help out. And what's crazy is it's the opposite of that. It's actually breaking the chain of energy that you're getting from your legs if you start to pull with your arms. Now your legs aren't doing the work. It's turned into a bicep curl. So we want to avoid that. And we want to teach ourselves to be as patient as possible with that pull part. So grab the barbell again, exactly how it was before. We're starting at the top. We're going to ride it down really slow how we did, pulling the knees back slightly, steer straight forward, find a spot on the wall, bend at the knee. This is now our starting position. Chest is over the bar, chest is open, I'm comfortably looking forward. I'm going to slightly pull the knees back to make room for the bar, come in with the hips, and coming out of this, I'm going to shrug and calf raise. Come down, let's do it again 2 more times. Down, pulling the knee back, now bending the knee. From mid-shin, pull the knee back. At this hang position, now pull the hip in, and shrug and calf raise. If you feel yourself kind of wobbly, squeeze your glutes more. Make sure your shoulders are pinned back. All of that tension is going to help you with your balance, okay? One more time. Slow on the way down. Now pull the knee back. Pull the hip in. Shrug and calf raise. All right, rack the bar. So now let's put a little weight on it so that we can pull from the floor. Okay, I don't have 10s here. I'm going to go ahead and put 25s on my bar because I'm crazy. Yeah, that is what it is because those are the bumper plates I have. So we're going to make do. I'm going to work out. It's kind of the weight I was going to be doing anyway. All right, it's just a little bit more of a jump than I wanted. So if you have the option to put 10-pound bumper plates on your bar, do that. If not, probably don't do the jump that I am doing. I just want to be able to demonstrate it from pulling from the floor. But you guys are going to put maybe 10s, 15s of a steel plate, okay? I don't want the jumps from set to set to be more than about 30 pounds. More than that, it's just a lot for your body to get used to. Of course, I am breaking that rule right now. Okay, so let's practice pulling from the floor for our clean pull. So set up your barbell on the floor. I'll say this is going to feel better with weight on the bar, okay? Compared to the very light, empty bar, it's weighing you down. It's going to kind of keep you balanced a bit. Now you're still going to have to squeeze your glutes, keep your shoulder blades pinned back as you shrug up, but generally speaking, the general consensus is it feels easier with weight on the bar. So go ahead and get your hands set. We're going to sit with an open chest, looking straight forward. Pull the knees back slightly, pull the hips in, and shrug and calf raise. 2 more times, reset the shoulders. Keep it slow. And rest, all right? So that's our clean pull. That's all I'm going to do with the clean pull for you guys today because I want to keep it moving. But it is such a great thing to come back to. Again, anytime you're increasing weight, if you feel yourself pulling early, if you feel yourself falling over in your clean, like losing your balance in some capacity, scale it back to this. It brings you back to, oh, this is my intention with the lift. Everything else after it is just catching it. Okay, it's just leveraging yourself around and under it. This is really the part to get really strong on. This and the front squat. Getting around and under the bar, you'll learn it over time, but those are the two pieces to really focus on, okay? However, we're gonna focus on the cleans. So take these plates back off. I wanna do this next part empty bar. So plates off, and with an empty bar, we're gonna do 3 hang full cleans. I'm not gonna be super picky with where your hang is. I just don't want it to be from the floor because that's just another variable. But from the hang, it'll still challenge your patience. Whereas like pulling from the hip, there would be no chance of pulling early because that is where we would pull. But it's kind of hard to translate that position, I think, in this scenario where y'all aren't in front of me. But from the hang, it kind of makes sense. You've got a little bit of runway to ride the bar up your leg before then pulling under it. So we're gonna get that hook grip. Standing up tall, I'm gonna come down to my hang position. Mine's gonna be just above my knee. Now the thing I'm gonna search for is sweeping through the hip before I pull the bar. And when I pull the bar, I'm really pulling myself under it. Okay, to catch in a front squat. Now, when I'm catching in a front squat, it's probably not going to be the very bottom of the squat. I want you to pause wherever you catch it, whether it's a super high power or a very low squat or somewhere in between, just pause and catch there. So we've got our hook grip, hang, sweep through and catch. So I caught in a power, I'm going to stand, reset, and come back down. My feet are slightly more narrow than you'd expect. This is our jumping stance. This jumping stance is going to allow me to jump off the ground and re-catch, re-plant my feet in a squat position. So we're in our hang, sweep through the hips. Make sure you sweep through the hips and you don't miss them. And then catch in your power or full clean. All right? So feel free to keep practicing that. I'm now going to be smart. I'm going to put 10s on my bar, not 25s. And I'm going to get another warm-up round there before we get into our working rounds. Now, what's good is we are not pulling from the floor, so technically this would be fine for me. And we'll see. That might end up being fine for what we're doing today. Especially because I got a men's bar in my hands. For any of y'all, maybe not following the workout right now, but listening in, let me know if you have any questions about this. I know this is all really complex. And yeah, hopefully it's all kind of translating what I'm saying about it, because I'll say I'm describing it in the terms that clicked for me, when I was first learning, and I'm always learning new cues. But I think talking about where the bar is in space and how your body is moving around it is a really approachable way to think about it. Because I think we've all seen ourselves in a mirror. We've all seen a video of ourselves moving. Maybe you haven't. That'd be a really great opportunity for you to check out your movement around the bar and just to quantify what your movement looks like. Qualify. Yeah, whatever. It's too early. All right, so we're going to be pulling from that hang. We're catching in a power or a full clean, and then we're going to stand. Okay? Hands on the bar. Hook grip. Jumping position, jumping stance. Down to the hang. Sweep through the hips and catch and pause. And stand. Now we're going to catch and pause, and then we're going to go down into a front squat. So hang, sweep through the hips, catch and pause, and then down in a front squat. One more time. Hang, sweep, catch and pause, down in a front squat. All right. That's our clean. All right? Now if it still feels funky and you're hating it, or you don't like holding in the front rack position, or weightlifting is not your passion, but you still want to get something from this workout, go back to those clean pulls. Put some weight on the bar that is a plate big enough to pull from the floor, and just do clean pulls. Nice and slow, kind of heavy. Think like deadlift type weight, because it's effectively a deadlift that goes a little bit further. And just do that. Just rep that out for the same reps that we're doing. All right, so we've got 8 rounds ahead of us of 3 reps. Each round. I'm going to put an EMOM timer on to keep myself on pace. And I may adjust weight as I go based on how it feels. And for these, although in the program it calls for a high hang full clean, I'm going to allow you guys to catch in a power or a full clean. If you catch in a power, pause there and then go down into the front squat. Okay? And again, you could do 3 clean pulls as an alternative if you don't feel comfortable with cleans yet. Let's get it going in 15 seconds, shall we? Sip of water before I get going. Let's hit it, y'all. All right. Hands are set. Let's do it. Round 1. Hey. Three reps. Think shrug. Keep your arms straight. Play chicken with getting around the bar. All right. After that 3rd rep, rack it. We got 30 seconds. I'm glad you enjoy those cues. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think about my cueing a lot. I'm like, how can I translate this in words? And I remember why I started doing that. I had a surgery in 2015. I was not going to be able to demonstrate anything for like 9-10 weeks. So I was like, damn, I'm going to have to get way better at putting this into words. I used to very much be a visual teacher. And that changed everything for me. And I'm really so grateful that I had to go through that to learn that new skill. Here's round 2. 3 reps. Big shrug, big jump, get under the bar. Meet the bar where it's at. Don't go too low. It's going to slam on your body otherwise. All right. If I could slow this down for y'all, I'm actually catching in a power, but I'm very smoothly then going down into a squat, which is honestly unnecessary if we're just looking at the sport of Olympic weightlifting. But the way that I'm utilizing it is for conditioning, it's for hypertrophy, it's for strength building, endurance, all the things. So I'm going to still utilize the full range of motion. That's why when catching, wherever I'm catching, I'm then still going down into that squat because I love the front squats. So might as well. Round 3, we're already in it. Let's do it. Get set. Final rep, Sweep the hips. All right. Bring that bar in. We've got 20 seconds till the next round. I'm going up a little bit. All right, let's get it going. Round 4. As the bar gets heavier, you're gonna have to catch it lower so you don't have to move it as far. I'll talk about that in a second. One more. Ooh, I'm gonna talk about that last round. 2. So, 2 things here. I'm gonna pause the timer because these are both really important. So, 2 things that I want to address. 1, I went up in weight. In going up in weight, you're not going to want to move the bar as far with your arms, as high with your arms, because it's heavier. And the point of Olympic weightlifting is to move as much load with as little effort as possible. So using your legs as much as you can over your arms. So it would make sense that I would want to catch it lower so that it only has to move from here to maybe here versus from here all the way to here. Now, either way, once I'm wearing it, I'm gonna stand up with it. So it is gonna be a longer range of motion there. But again, I got my legs lifting it. At that point, it's just a matter of keeping it up here. So the limiting factor with cleans is going to be if you have to catch it higher in order to get it up there, you're not gonna be as strong. Now, training powers is really powerful, because if you can catch it really high like that, there's just more variability there for you to work with. But I think as you're new to lifting, it makes sense, catch the bar with as high or low as it's getting, like meet it where it's at so it's not slamming you. And also to get to know all those different depths of catching it. I tend to always catch it like in just above parallel. And then I'm always gonna sit down in that squat. Now the second thing that I wanted to talk about was my last clean there. I pulled early and I already knew it as I did it, and then I felt it when I caught it. If you feel like it's pulling you forward and you're kind of having to chase the bar, you're likely pulling before you're getting to your hips. So, sorry, a little tutorial here. If you're pulling at this point, now there's all this room. The bar path is in front here now. Instead of letting your hips meet and then pull, the bar path is on my body. We want the bar path as close to being on your body as possible so that you're wearing it. Anything in your midline is going to be stronger than way out in front or around you. Cool? Makes sense? We've got 3 more rounds. Actually, I think we have 4 more rounds. We're in round 5. Let's do it. Round 5. Trust that your legs and your jump and your shrug will get the bar as high as it needs to go. Then you just get around and under it. That's all it is. All right, we got 3 rounds left. I'm dropping gems today. I tend to give so much more cueing to the stuff that I remember not knowing how to do recently. It recently isn't in the last 10 years, but or 6, 7 years. But I remember how confusing it was. Cleans blew my mind. I was like, where's the bar going? Where are my arms going so that it can stay on me? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. And I thought, oh my gosh, there's so many joints to work with. So of course the bar doesn't have to be out here for me to get under it. So it started making a lot of sense. And then I know it was my weightlifting coach, Andy Coggins, shout out Andy, who said this. I just can't remember when, but man, it clicked one day. You get under it. The bar, you're pulling against that weight. As it gets heavier, it's almost going to get easier for you to pull yourself under it. Like, oh, yeah, hell yeah, that makes sense. And so I started thinking of like, just, I don't know, using this bar, like pretending it's like a stationary bar and I'm trying to get under it. Wow, it just like opened up a whole new window of learning for me with Olympic style weightlifting. Snatches felt easier once I heard that cue. It's crazy. One little cue will work for you. So hopefully, maybe I've given you that at some point on this Zoom or on this live. We got 3 more. Let's hit it. All right. I'm going to go up a little bit more. We got 2 more rounds. So, might as well push myself. I was talking about this yesterday and the day before and the day before that. I swear steel plates feel heavier than bumper plates. I was holding that 25-pound steel plate earlier, and I was like, dang, this feels so dense, like way heavier than 25. These feel like marshmallows, though. So funny. All right, y'all, 2 more rounds. Adjust your weight, get ready. We're gonna get it going in 10 seconds. 6 reps ahead of us. Still pulling from the hang. You may not be able to see me as much because the plates are so big, but still pulling from the hang, sweeping through my hips, playing chicken with the pull, and then getting under it, going down in the squat and standing up. Okay? Let's do it. 3 reps. This is where the men's bar starts coming into play. Damn, it's hard to grip. We got this. All right, take your rest. We got 1 more. Whew, I'm having fun here. I don't know about you guys. Hopefully. Or YouTube. I feel like my head's always cut off. There we go. Oh, maybe that's a good thing at this hour. 1 more round in 15 seconds. If you're not ready yet, keep resting. Just know that you got 1 round ahead of you. It's gonna be a good one, and I've got a little surprise for the end. So by the way, on that 3rd one, don't put the bar down, rack it. If you've got a rack in front of you with J hooks at about shoulder height, rack the bar there, you're gonna want it there. Okay? Here we go. Stand up with the weight, get a strong grip around the bar. Let's do it. All right, rack the bar. On those J hooks. I'm gonna readjust my situation here with the tripod, and let's talk about what we're gonna do next. So we do have a little finisher. It'll be like 5 minutes long. Actually, I'm gonna make sure of that. Let me set up this timer again. So every minute on the minute, we're gonna have 3 front squats with the weight that we were just cleaning, okay? So just kind of overloading that piece of it, just to get a few more reps in, especially because it's squat week. It's like bread week on Great British Baking Show, but it's squat week, baby. So this is set. I'm gonna have it start in a minute. And in 1 minute, we're gonna have 3 front squats at whatever weight you've got on the bar. It should be the proper weight. If you were just cleaning it and catching in a front squat, you can easily do 3 strict front squats with that weight. All right, let's get set. 5 rounds of 3. Now, good news is we're not doing 8 rounds of 8, because guess who had that? Kettle or bodybuilding. So that in this program, in the app, I'm really overloading them. However, we had a little bit less weight on the bar. I would have had maybe 75 pounds versus 95. But 3 reps is like a godsend compared to 8. Ask any Olympic weightlifter, over 3 reps, it's cardio. Ugh. All right, y'all, let's do it. 3 reps, then rack the bar. All right, it's funny, I breathe like a kettlebeller, even with my barbell. I can't wait for next week's workouts. Those watching, a little update on the app. We've had a huge bug this whole week. Thank God I was streaming these workouts. It was the whole reason I was streaming them, is because I was nervous there could be a show-stopping bug. And guess what? There was. So we will be alerting y'all when that is fixed. But the bug is a billing issue. So I don't want anyone in there. Unless we have that resolved. So we've got a fix coming for y'all within the next probably 24 hours. It is a big push to get this done before Christmas. So hang in there with us. We're working really hard. It's a small team. I am 20% of it. And yeah, what's funny is it doesn't feel like any of us is only doing 20% of the work. We all are in 100% of it, right? I'm no developer, but I have learned the lingo, that's for sure. So anyway, we'll get it going. Say a prayer. I would love for this to be my Christmas miracle. All right, round 2. Woo. 3 more to go. 3 more to go. 20 seconds. I hope these front squats are feeling okay. It's been a long week of training. If you've done all of them with me, we've done 8 workouts, which is a lot. However, they are written in a way to be stackable. Each one is, as you know, about 40 to 50 minutes long, maybe 35 to 50 minutes long, depending on what it is. Kettle clubs just definitely a little bit longer, just because of the nature of learning things and then doing working rounds. But realistically, they pair together perfectly. That's how I wrote them. So, if you want to stack those 2 programs once you're in the app, you'll see I've set them up price point wise to make sense that way. And then also the way that the workouts show up on your like next up tab in the app, telling you the next up workout in your program. If you just follow them in tandem, they go great together. So just some food for thought. Round 3, midway through. Woo. 2 more rounds to go. Other thing about the app and bugs and the live workouts and stuff, I am so grateful that I stream live workouts, even just for my workouts alone, because it was one of those work weeks where I would have definitely skipped all of my workouts otherwise. So I'm grateful that I had them scheduled, because that got me to keep moving. And guess what? When you do a good workout, your endorphins are a little higher. And so that helps with bad news. That helps with being able to handle that other hard stuff in life. Getting comfortable with being uncomfortable in here just makes it all feel like, oh, it's not the end of the world, you know? So I still had those moments, but for the most part, handled them a bit better than I think I typically would have, and definitely gotten more workouts than I typically would have. Because anything is more than 0, and that's what I would have been looking at. Round 4, y'all. 3 reps. Quick rest, and then 1 more round. I'm going to live stream my workouts from my next volume, dropping the first week of January, the second week of January. So after the volume drops that first week, I'm not sure which day it'll be. I think I'm going to live stream all of them the following week. So you get a little taste of this again and see how different volume to volume is for all of the programs. This one just gets slightly more advanced, a little bit heavier, and then Kettle Club has a different skill that we pick as the like heavy skill for the volume. So you'll get to see what that is when we get to it. It's a surprise. But all right, final round. Let's do it, and we'll get to sign off for the week. There we have it. That is it for bodybuilding. That is it for Kettle Club. That is it for all of our workouts this week. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, as I mentioned, we were doing all of this so that we would make sure that everyone got their workouts for the week as we are attempting to launch. We are technically on the App Store, but a little billing issue that I don't feel comfortable with because I don't fuck with people's money. That is my number one thing. I've said it for so many years, like ever since I started. I'm like, I would rather give everything away for free than anyone get billed the wrong price or not get the introductory offer or anything like that. So until that's resolved, which should be today, I had these live workouts going. So they're all posted, they're all savable, you know, feel free to repeat them. I would highly suggest doing these again next week. You know, if you're not in my program yet, then you've got these to utilize, okay? And I'm definitely going to be live streaming week 1 of my next volume, dropping the first week of January. I will live stream it the following week. Program drop is busy enough as is. I'm not going to add live workouts that week, but the following week, definitely. So be on the lookout for that. There will definitely be things posted about it. I will also have things posted about how to get into the programs later today. And yeah, that's it, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me. It was fun. Really appreciate y'all holding me accountable by showing up and being here with me. Really, really appreciate it. And again, you can find all of these workouts on my YouTube and my Instagram if you want to go back and do them all at a later date. I will see y'all next time. Thank you so much. Thanks, YouTube.